Hi, I'm Karen. I'm originally from upstate New York.
And I'm Jen, hailing from Arkansas.
Together, we decided as old spinster ladies to pool our resources and move to northern Maine on the Canadian border.
Join us on our single, child-free adventures while we navigate our new life with our two furry feline overlords.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. I hope you've had a wonderful week and you enjoyed those salmon patties. Today we're going to expand a little bit on what it is to be child free and focus on really what our life is like instead of just having theories.
Okay, so one of the first things is you hear from anybody who says they're child free is you can do anything, anytime, anywhere. And that is true. It's not just a line people feed you. Yes, I have two cats. Cats are usually associated with single women because they're an animal, but they're easier to take care of than, say, a dog. They can stay the weekend on their own without having anybody to stop by and check on them. But besides that, you literally just can take off. Like we were discussing when I get my new vehicle, we'll take a weekend trip to Quebec. Okay, that works. Or we'll go down to Portland for the weekend. We can just go when we want to go.
Yeah, the only real schedules we have to worry about are each other's, and sometimes we actually travel independently if we're going to be gone for extended periods of time. Say, for instance, when you went to Paris on the trip from hell, I stayed behind so I could take care of the cats we had then.
And then when I came back, you did your week trip to DC so that I could watch the cats. So we do take turns if it's going to be long term, and I'm a firm believer of being a solo traveler. Maybe that's because I am single and I have become so independent. I like going to other countries, other places by myself, doing my own thing when I want to. I don't have to have a whole bunch of people agree together to do one thing and have a 45-minute conversation to the point you're like, I'm just going to go back to my room and take a nap.
Yeah, so I also like to travel by myself from time to time. I can set my own schedule if I decide I want to, hey, go to the American History Museum literally 5 times.
Yeah.
I can. But I also actually came home from DC early, and it was because the mattress in my hotel really made my back hurt. If I was there with a family or with another person, I wouldn't have been able just to come home early.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we talk about things we did before, but that was a couple of years ago now. It's not what you do now. So let's say you're in your 20s or your 30s right now. You go out with your friends, you have fun, but you want to sleep in on a Saturday morning. You want to just curl in on the couch with a comfy blanket book or watching TV on a nasty rainy day. You can do that. If you had children, that would not exist. And I know people say it's only for so long. Then you have they're only your kids and da 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 and that. No, I don't want to give up 18 years of my life to taking care of somebody else 24/7. And then once they turn 18, let's say they are in college, but they're still home sometimes. And nowadays, you're looking at kids still living with their parents in their 30s. So it's not really just 18 years as they talk about.
Yeah, I have some clients who still pay for their children's insurance and they're 35, even pushing 40 sometimes.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, if you do unfortunately end up with a child who is special needs, not unfortunately, I'm sorry, bad words, but if you do end up with a child who has special needs, that will be a 24/7 thing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So right now, though, I can sleep in on a Saturday. I went out all the time in my 20s and my 30s and 40s, went traveling, did everything. So it will be an entire weekend. I'm just home all weekend chilling on the couch, and I can do that. I'm old. I'd rather stay home now. It's not in my ability. I don't want to go out all the time. Trust me, it happens. I did not think it would, but you know what? I don't want to leave the house. I want to be home by 9 in my jammies. I don't care.
Yeah, somehow we have a self-imposed curfew of 9 o'clock. But like this morning, I Yeah, most people have to go to the grocery store. It's adulting, but we were able to also get a local artisan to make us some bread. So
Hmm.
I just took off down to pick it up and came back and didn't have to worry about juggling kids while I'm trying to be in the grocery store or who's going to watch them. Or I was just able, I mean, chores tend to be easier when little humans aren't trying to help. And don't get me wrong, they are absolutely adorable when they try to help. But it also takes twice as long. So we just
Hmm.
get our stuff done and kind of keep it pushing.
Yeah, and when you clean a house, it stays clean without other people around bugging you and moving stuff and making things dirty. And
Yeah.
yeah, things stay cleaner longer. So yeah, dusting. I only have to dust like maybe once a month, once every 3 weeks. I
Yeah.
mean, we don't, there's just two of us in a very large house. We don't accumulate that much stuff in a short amount of time. So we do cleaning, have a schedule, but it doesn't take up much of our time at all because there's not much to clean up.
Yeah, I'd say what, maybe a whole hour, and that's deep cleaning.
Hour and a half tops.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing much. And because, I work in the morning, she works in the evenings, Monday through Friday, we can also do stuff during the week because we don't have to make dinner for somebody else or everybody in the house. We don't
right.
have to help a child with their homework or take a bath or here, mom, 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 mom. And that's why I say, bless y'all for having kids who do have kids, because my patience would be gone.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with the herding cats I have to do at work and then herd cats at home.
Yeah, I mean, I am introverted on the side of introverted, I should say. So all day long, I deal with people at work, even though I'm on remote. I have meetings all day. I do things and talk to people all day. So when I'm done with work, my brain just goes, vroom, shuts off. I need to recharge. So at night after work, I shut everything down on the computer, walk into the living room, I just relax. I'll either read my book, watch some TV, maybe an hour later, get kind of peckish, make myself something quick in the kitchen, and then come back out and relax, play on the computer and update some stuff, maybe write. Just nothing too stressful. It's literally the quiet evening to myself to recharge for the next day's work.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Now, I don't work true night shift. I don't work
No, no,
overnights,
not at all.
but because some of my clients are on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, I do work a later shift.
Mhm.
So I basically do all that in the morning, get my relaxation in, gearing up for work, and then once I get off work, maybe a decompression hour or two, and then I can go to bed. There's nothing else to worry about. And during the week, we kind of fend for ourselves when it comes for food. Now, a 5-year-old, well, 5-year-old us could, but today 5-year-olds do not fend for themselves when it comes to dinner. So it's a lot nicer.
Yeah, it's a people do talk about, well, what am I going to do when I'm older? I won't have, you know what? Like Jen said before, you create your own tribe. You still have friends to talk to. You still have, if you share a house with someone to chat with. You still have family. You still have hobbies and interests. There is such a variety of things out in the world right now that you can do, be interested in, have. So I think it's called being poor for choices. You do have a multitude of things you can do anytime, all the time, if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's never a time where we are forced to be bored. There are
Mm-mm.
a ton of things that we're interested in. I'm actually going back to school for software engineering and AI learning. Karen does her book, she also does our social media.
Hmm.
And on top of that, I do YouTube, edit videos. Our life is full with or without kids.
Yeah, it's nothing that we're missing. And as I said before, blessed be for those who have children because, from my heart, thank you. I
Yeah.
could not do it myself, but it is a choice you have to make and that you have to be careful with. There is one, and I'm not going to, blow smoke up anybody's butt. Um, but there is a downside to it, however. I know when I was in my 20s, I want to say about 25,
Yeah.
everybody was getting married, everybody was engaged. It literally was like a domino effect, one right after the next in our friend group. And then, within a few years, everybody started to have kids. I want to say by the time I was 30, most of those friends had faded away. It went down to, you went to everybody's wedding shower and then baby showers and everything. But
And some birthdays.
yeah, some baby birthdays and so forth. But parents are very busy and they have a lot on their plate. And when they do get together, they want to go to kid friendly places and they're spending half their time paying attention to their kids and not the person they're with, or they can't find the time to meet up with old friends, or they want to meet with old friends, but only if they have kids so they can understand what they're going through.
Yeah, in all honesty, this lifestyle becomes unrelatable
Yeah.
to a large portion of your friend group. Now, there will still be some ride or die friends that you'll be able to overcome that, make time for each other. But for the most part, friends will fall off. But as their kids get older, a lot of times you can also reconnect. So
Yeah.
it's not all doom and gloom, but it is something that you need to understand and be ready for.
And that's why Jen and I say find your tribe, because it does become important. I know I'm in quite a few child free community like Facebook groups and on Instagram and so forth. And there are other women out there who are child free. They have child free groups around the country. I know in some areas of the world, they are slim pickings that, they are kind of forced to have children or and be married and have families and things of that nature. So it can be hard to find people in your area that have the same ideals, the same thoughts. But reach out on social media, reach out on the internet. There are many of us out there who, because we all grew up, as I said, with a group of friends, that suddenly they whittled away slowly and surely. You kind of feel like you're alone, but you're not. You have many others. It's just kind of harder to find us because everybody started as one and then little by little spread apart.
Yeah, so we're out here. We definitely like to connect, and there's no reason to just cut your friends off as
No.
they have kids. Like I said, some of this will be a natural progression, and others will be a ride or die for the rest of your life. There
Yep.
are friends like that. But all in all, find your tribe and make sure that you have a community that you can talk with, that you have, common interest with. Find a basically like a meetup group
Yep.
or something like that where it's like interest and you can go from there.
And honestly, things when you are child free, things you can do is, and a lot of us do, you can volunteer. You can, help the help the homeless shelter or go to the library and do reading hour, or there's so many things you can do to fill your life if you feel like maybe having a child would make it fulfilling. There are so many other ways to make your life fulfilling where you don't necessarily need to have a child, because I can tell you giving, free seminars at the local library when I was out in Boston about medical insurance, because that's what my job is based around, was very fulfilling. I helped hundreds of other people get either claims paid, pick insurance, something of that nature, just to help them out. There is a lot of fulfilling things that you can do if you feel like maybe you'll be lost without having a child.
Yeah, and I was part of the local humanities group. Remember when I was part of that humanities board in Norwood?
No, I remember the Historical Society. I don't remember a humanities board.
Yeah, the one that we met at the pub for the grants.
Not a clue.
Anyway,
I'm old. My memory's going.
Anyway, I was on a few boards, hence why she can't remember them. But
Well, that's the thing. We had so much going on in our lives that it was hard to keep track of everything.
That's true, but it made for a fulfilling life.
Yeah, it did.
And because I didn't have kids, I could do that at the drop of a hat.
I mean, society does benefit from child-free women and single men because we're the ones who pay higher taxes. We're the ones who can donate to causes because we have flexible money, basically. I know in this society that may not be a thing for a lot of people.
It's starting to get tough now, even for single people. But yeah, we don't spend the $250,000 it takes to raise a child, so that money goes into the economy in other ways.
Yeah, they call it disposable income, and that's basically what we're doing is disposing of it right now because everything costs a mint.
Oh my God. Yes, I filled up gas today and I do not want to discuss that unpleasantness.
No, seriously. What was it, $4.40?
$4.45 a gallon.
Yeah, okay, sure. Bring the gas prices down. Wasn't that the whole thing? Let's not go there before I lose my religion.
Yeah, another thing about living with another child-free person, make sure said tribe has the overarching same morals, I guess is the best way to put it.
Most often, I gotta say, most of the people I do see that are child free, like on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I do not do TikTok.
No.
They are of usually
More
left than anything else because
more liberal.
Yeah, they're honestly more often than not, they are feminists, I guess you could say, in the word of the only reason you can call them feminist is because they want equality.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, I don't know why, well, feminism got a bad rap because men.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of us look for equal pay because we're putting in the hours.
Yeah.
Like most guys are because we don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost, find it offensive. One of the first things I was asked in this last interview I had for this new job was, well, are you going to be able to stay late? Like, don't you have kids or something? And I'm just looking at him like, what?
That's illegal to ask that question.
He didn't come out and say the kids word. He just made it very interesting how he asked the question. So, but that is a selling point too. I got to say, if you go to an interview and they ask you, is it going to be a problem having to work a few extra hours? And I know many parents can say, well, I have childcare or I have to pick up the kids after school or something. You can just flat out say, no, I don't have any kids. I'm fine.
Yeah.
We just want to let you know there are other options and that there are things that will be fulfilling in your life and that you can find pleasure in and be very happy with.
Yeah, absolutely. Find your tribe. You don't have to be bored. Technically, I guess you are a spinster, but there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I mean,
Bless you. That was a cat.
yeah. Sorry, kitty break. But yeah, I mean, if you have any inkling or any shred of doubt, please do not push yourself through that. Do not put a child through that. However, if you have always wanted kids, if that has been, something in the back of your mind your entire life, by all means, you would be a great mom or a great dad. But just make sure that you're doing that for their legacy and not as an extension of yourself, because that's very selfish.
No, I agree completely. I've seen children born for the wrong reasons because it was expected and so forth. So don't be scared. There's quite a few of us out there that'd be happy to show you the way on how to be happy when you're older by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we won't be this blunt in all of our videos, we'll definitely showcase our life here in Maine on future videos. And you get to hang out with me in the kitchen because, yeah, even though I'm child free and single, I still cook.
Speaking of, that's what you're going to do next, right? Because dinner's coming up.
Yes.
So have a great day and a great week, everyone. And always remember, agree to disagree.
Definitely agree to disagree. And I guess I got to feed the locals. Or the natives. But we'll see you next week. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see our future videos, including The chaos every Monday with Karen, and the cooking videos on Wednesday with just me. And sometimes she likes to sneak in, or an errant cat here or there. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. But other than that, have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.